Hi, good morning. I am Varun Iyer from GoTo University, and I am a senior admission consultant, and I manage the India operations for this company. Today, I decided to come on live on Facebook Live, and why I decided for that? Because I have seen that many students and many parents they visit us on our social media platforms, and they have many inquiries about what are the requirements to study abroad, which countries are better for them, which courses they should go for, what are the deadlines, what are the scholarship opportunities. So we kept this short session today wherein we will talk about the major aspects which will help you to take the informed decision, and you will be able to decide that which country is better for your profile, which country you should decide, and which courses are trending in the overseas countries, what sort of jobs you can get after completing the courses outside India. So these are the basic things we will talk about today, and also I will take some live questions which I will try to answer, and hopefully it will help. Yeah. So okay, so basically when we talk about studying abroad, we think of few countries which is like USA, Australia, New Zealand, UK, then Ireland. These are the English speaking countries which is famous. But I suggest to the students that there are some other countries too which you can actually consider, which is quite cost effective. Countries like Poland, countries like Germany, countries like Sweden, countries like Netherlands, because European Union countries are also picking up heavily in the overseas industry, overseas education industry, and the reason is because European Union countries offer you the tuition cost on an affordable price. It also give you lot of opportunities for the scholarships. They have wide range of courses availability. You also get the job opportunities, and you can explore the European market, and you can also apply for the permanent residencies. So we will try to cover the European countries and also the English speaking countries for today. So let's start with the countries like, for example, Canada, because Canada is one of the hot destination right now. Many students are willing to go to Canada for the primary reason because it offers permanent residency to the applicants. And I feel that if you're applying for the Canadian education, the first thing you need to think of, which is the course selection, because any country you decide, whether it's Canada or whether it's US or whether it's UK or Ireland, the important factor is that you need to know that which course is suitable for you, which course can actually help you, because you will be investing money in the education, right? Even though your plan is to go there and work, or maybe probably settle down, or maybe come back to your home country, but you need to know which courses are in trend. So in English speaking countries, for example USA or UK or Ireland or even Canada, IT courses such as data analytics, data science, business analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, mechatronics, these are quite trending and in good demand, and many top employers they look for the experts within these subject disciplines. So I think that you should definitely consider these kind of subjects in order to apply for your bachelor's degree or even for the master's degree, right? So talking about like Canada or US and UK, so why students go to these countries are because these countries not only offer you a high class education, but they also give you a stay back to get and learn the experiences. So because these are the English speaking countries, so in these countries you also gain confidence when you go there, because you learn their language, you work in a different and diversified environment, you get to work with the top employers, multinational companies which is a part of 500 Fortune companies. You also explore the opportunities for getting a stay back like permanent residencies. So it's not available in USA. It's not that easy to get in USA, although still USA is very popular. It's because of the compensation and the salary packages which you get, and USA has like some top like universities like Stanford, MIT, UCLA, Georgia Tech, and George Mason University, and many more. So you can explore these universities, these countries. So I feel like they are quite good. And let's see if we have any questions to answer. So do we have any questions here to see? Okay. All right. So I see here it says, "Hi Ashi." So Ashi's question is, "Hello sir, I have a question. What are the requirements to study abroad?" So it's a very good question, and so you know, uh, every country and every university, they have a different sort of requirements from the students, because it depends upon the courses you are applying for. That it could be master's courses, or it could be bachelor's degree, or it could be diploma programs, short courses as well. But if we look at the general requirements, then I would say that you need to have good academics. So you need to have a strong academics. For example, if you are going for a bachelor's degree, then you need to have good scores, good academic grades in your 10th and 12th. If you're applying for your master's degree program or an MBA program, you need to have good grades and academic scores in your bachelor's degree. That is one aspect. Another thing is that most of the universities, they look at that what have you done outside your academics. For example, if you have been into school, if you have been a school student, they will look at that what sort of extra co-curricular activities you have been involved into. They will look at that if you were good at sports, arts, music, if you have done any internships, if you have done any volunteer or community service experience, if you are an Olympiad, or if you have participated in any competitions, if you have received any awards. So it will be good that if you are not only involved into the academics, but also balancing your outside academic activities, because that counts a lot. Apart from that, when you apply for the abroad colleges or universities, they look for your good English language proficiency, and IELTS, TOEFL, PT, these are the tests which is usually recommended and accepted by the colleges. So you need to you need to take the coaching for IELTS and PT. So I suggest the students that start building your profile from an early age. So let's say if you have decided that you want to go abroad for your studies, as soon as you are in your 9th or 10th grade, you have to start working on your profile, because profile building is very important. So you need to work on your internships, try to find any project work, try to get into the sports activities, whatever you like. Maybe if you like reading, try to read novels and books, which is also very good. There are many free websites like Coursera. There are websites like edX. There are many other freebie websites wherein you can complete few online courses. For example, I had one student recently whom I helped to go to Ireland college, which is Trinity College Dublin, and that kid wanted to go for bachelor's program in computer science. And when he met me, he did not do any activities. So what I suggested him to do some online courses on the programming languages, which is C++, Java, Python, and it actually helped him to improvise his profile and to list down those courses on his CV. So just to recall again, you need to have good academics, good co-curricular activities, you need to have a good educational CV listing down what activities you have done. You need to also complete IELTS or PT or TOEFL, whatever the country you are going, so you can appear for that English language proficiency. You need to also have a good letter of recommendations from your school teachers or your college professors based on the program you are applying, who can vouch for you, who can talk about your strength, who can talk about your involvement in the projects and how you were in the school or college. And there might be a standardized exam that you might have to appear. For the high school students, sometimes you need to appear for the test like SAT or ACT. If you are applying for the MS program or engineering programs or MBA program, you might also have to take GRE or GMAT, but it is not necessary to take for all the countries and all the colleges. It depends upon the specific requirements. And at the end, it also counts that how strong is your essay. So when you write an application, like when you prepare the application for a college, you need to prepare an essay, which is also known as statement of purpose or letter of intention. So it has to has a strong story, an innovative story. Many students I have seen, they repeat the information which they have written in their application form, because when you fill the application form, you talk about your academics, you mention that how much percentage you have received in your 10th and 12th, and what activities you have done, and what is your family background. So do not repeat those information in your statement of purpose. In your statement of purpose should reflect your personality in your application. So the strong essay you have better chances to get accepted at the college, right? Let's look at the other question. So Nikhil has asked me, is it safe to apply now since many countries has changed the policy post cover? So I think it's post COVID, I believe. So it's a very good question, Nikhil. So I would say that yes, of course, it is now very much safe to apply for overseas countries, and we have seen that the how the pandemic situation has affected not only India but the outside countries too in the last 2 years. And now, since each country is working towards the vaccination, and most of the countries, they have more than 50-70% of vaccination, and the cure is in the place, people have understood the importance of hygiene and social distancing. So with that, I can say, like countries like USA, Ireland, or UK, or even Germany or Canada, New Zealand, Australia, all these countries have they have a proper measure, they have a proper healthcare system to deal with this COVID-19. And many universities, they have actually taken extra steps, extra measures to help the students. For example, there are many universities I have seen that they are helping students with the in-house quarantine facility. So they are helping students to arrange the quarantine facilities. Some are free, some are paid. And then apart from that, some of the universities have also went ahead and extended their support for the scholarships. So there are many financial aids are offered from many universities to the students, and there is a flexibility. For example, there is a flexibility of entry requirements. So I know many students whom I helped who went to countries like USA or UK or even Canada. So they did not need to appear for any standardized exam. For example, many of the US universities for this intake 2021, they have waived off GRE and GMAT requirement, SAT requirements, even the top universities. So that is also a flexibility which is given because of this pandemic situation. Many universities, I have seen that they have come, they have changed their assessment process. For example, I had one candidate who applied for the B schools for an MBA program in USA, and we received the interview call which was done online, which earlier used to take place in person. So this is also one of the flexibilities there, wherein interviews for the students are taking online. So universities have also opted for the digitally based format wherein they are helping the students. So these are the things, and let's go to the next question. Is overseas qualification recognized in India? So Bhavna has asked. So yes, Bhavna, overseas qualification is very much recognized in India. For an example, I'll say, if you go for a law degree, for example, right? So if you study Bachelor of Law program or LLB program in UK, there are many British universities who offer law program in UK, and those universities are actually accredited by Indian Bar Council, which means that if you study law in UK in certain universities, you can decide to carry on with your practice or your law career in UK or even in India. So not only UK, there are other programs too which is recognized in India. I mean, be it a business degree or be it a engineering program or be it an MBA program. So they have a global recognition and they are globally accredited. In fact, if you have a overseas qualification, you will have an upper hand over the other candidates, because top employers, they look for the students and applicants who have had the international exposure, who have completed their education abroad, who have gained international exposure, because it shows that you can work in the different environment, that you are flexible for a change. So there was one survey, European survey I was reading few days back, wherein they mentioned that the top like 60%, 64% of the top employers, they look for the applicants if they have studied abroad, if they have international work experience. And 98% of the top employers, they look for the candidates who can demonstrate that they are flexible for the different environment, and they are flexible for a change. So this can be easily proved if you are overseas student and overseas graduate. Yeah. So there was another question, which is, so someone has mentioned, hello sir, my credit score is low, so can I still apply for computer science in Australia? So I'm not sure what you mean by credit score, but if you're trying to say that if your academic score is low in your schooling, or maybe in your college, then my answer is yes, because in every country there are like premium colleges, and there are lower ranked colleges are also there, which is also good. So you can try for the colleges which suits your requirement, from the academic point of view, from the financial point of view. So I think yes, definitely there are many options available. So Karishma has asked, is Ireland a good option to study abroad? Karishma, yes, definitely. Ireland, I have seen that it is picking up very well, and many students are actually going to Ireland. It's because it's okay, so it's a small destination. Many people think it's a very small country, which is actually true. However, additionally, you need to know that Ireland is one of the country which is actually a IT and business hub. So there are around 2,500 companies in Ireland. Dublin is the capital, which is also referred as a Silicon Valley of Europe, and there are many 500 Fortune companies. They have a headquarters like Google, HP, LinkedIn, McKinsey, and Deloitte. So they have their headquarters based in Dublin. Just to let you know that almost all the colleges in Dublin, they have more than 96% of a graduate placement ratio, which means even before you finish your course, you will have a appointment letter, your job offer from an employer on your hand. Another thing is that many Irish universities and colleges, they conduct minimum 1 or 2 career fairs every year, wherein they have a practice of connecting employers to the employees, and the students, wherein you can share your resumes, where you can learn about the new job opportunities are coming up. So which I can say that Ireland is a very much a good destination, and I mean, you could complete your master's program and MBA program in 1 year. So in the other countries like USA or Canada, masters are for 2 year, MBAs for 2 year, but in Ireland you can finish your master's program, your postgraduate qualification in 1 year time, wherein you can save the cost, you can save the time. So in almost all the English speaking countries, you are offered, you get that opportunity of post study work visa. So which means once you finish your course, you will be able to stay there for a longer period of time, and you can explore the international work experience. And if you get a job, some countries like Canada, some countries like Australia, Ireland, Germany, New Zealand, they actually offer you permanent residency as well, PR as well, right? And I know that many students and many aspirants, they look for the longer term goal as a PR option. I mean, their studies can help them to get a PR. So these are the countries which you can actually consider. And one tip I would like to give is that students who are looking to study abroad, in overseas countries, you should look for the courses which are in trending, in demand. And how will you know that? You can use the online blogs. You can visit our portal, which is gotouniversity.com. So you can see that we have done a lot of many recorded webinars, and those webinars are actually done with the experts of the colleges, experts from the industries, We have we have brought many college professors, students who are looking to study MBBS program, medicine program. We have had many doctors whom we have invited for the session. So you can view those blogs and you can view those webinar sessions for free, which can just help you to decide which option you should go for, which career you should choose, right? Another thing is that when you look for the overseas countries, try to search for the courses which are listed in the occupational list, which means the profession which is in good demand there. Like it could be dentistry, or it could be medicine, it could be computer science engineers, it could be mechanical engineers, electronics engineers. So you can look for the courses which can help you to invest your money in a appropriate course. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. And if you have any questions, you can write to us and we'll be more than happy to help you. And all the best. Thank you.